cold this morning.
Dude, that was intense. I did 100 crunches, and that's not even all I did. Abs of steel. Yeah.
Rachel texted us and said that her kid's sick. So there's no Hebrew today.
The weather is changing. What does that say? 62. And then the outside temperature, 45. Every year we try to wait as long as possible to turn on the heat. This year, I'm like, to hell with it. We got lots of firewood, and Ben, I think, feels a little bit more like, let's push it off just a little bit more. So I don't really know who's gonna win out. I think I might. This morning, Seven was asking when we'd turn on the vents. He's just like, can we turn on the vents? And I said, well, just put on a sweater. He said, I already have a sweater. I said, well, put on another sweater.
R L
Giving this to me as a spectrum.
I L N I R. Here we go. What? You want to see it?
Filia is gonna give you a tour of the garden.
This is rosemary, rosemary. These are those thin chives. Where are the grapes? They're dying. These are raspberries. These are banana peppers. These ones are staying alive. And these, we have been pinning piles of leaves. That's it.
It got too cold for me. I'm putting on my down.
It is time for Q&A.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Dove Sky High asks, who's your favorite kid? Well, Dove Sky High, it changes all the time. Quite often the smallest is my favorite at the time.
You are Dove Sky High.
But if you actually look at our Instagram feed right now, there's a Q&A picture from last week, and then the next picture is a Q&A post from this week, which meant we went a week with no Instagram posts, and one of your assignments was to post 3 pictures. So one of the ways you could be my favorite kid.
The real Allison Hart asks, has there ever been something you regret putting in the vlog or not putting in the vlog?
Our birth video was our most viewed video of all time. And when I made it, it was right after the birth. I felt like the story was really inspired. I felt like a lot of the skill that was used was like, not really mine. I don't know.
We'd only been vlogging for like, what, 6 months?
Yeah, and I just felt like God like helped me make this video. Except for the ending. I like did all this video and then I was like, oh, all these people, they have all these like links on the end, and I had the feeling this could get a lot of views, so I was like, oh, I should add this section where we link to all these other videos so we get a lot more views. And I regret adding that part. I don't feel like that part was like inspired. And if I had to do it all over again, I would take that out of the video and just have it stand for what it was and have that be enough. I don't have any regrets for things I wish I would have vlogged. It's me, Bethany, asks, what's Rainier's sleep schedule?
He goes to bed at like 8:30, wakes up usually around 7:30, and takes a nap around 1:30. Annie Sim 194 asks, were you ever afraid of loving one child more than the others?
That seems like something I might have dealt with back when we only had like one. And I was like, oh, can we love the next one as much? And that's one of the great things about having multiple kids is you learn that there's like room for more love. Like I think our hearts get bigger.
I think I've had fears at times that I was preferentially treating some of the kids better because I understood them more or they're just easier?
There's definitely kids I like more and click with more naturally, but I don't feel too bad about that most of the time because I think that's super normal, but that shouldn't necessarily affect how we treat them. At least we try not to make the decisions based upon just our feelings. Heather Q asks, is it hard for you guys to not be in a constant state of planning the next big thing? Do you get depressed or restless if there is not a trail, trip, birth, whatever coming up? I don't feel that way. In fact, I almost feel like the opposite. I feel like we get our life just dialed in, and then it's like, damn it, now everything is tossed up. And I know like we do it to ourselves in a way, but in a way I feel like we like capture these like inspirations and it's hard to let go of them. And that's been our whole life, is getting settled down, thinking we have things figured out, and then it's like someone like knocks over the whole chessboard. So I feel like our life is like great right now. Like I'm not looking for more adventure. Then again, there's this like thing inside of me where I'm like, I know we'll be more satisfied if we do this thing.
Brittany gets asked, do you let the kids swear? Why or why not?
Yeah, we do.
Depends on who they're around.
We like to discourage the younger kids from swearing just because it sounds unbecoming.
I guess it's kind of like drinking alcohol as an adult. Like I wouldn't give that to my kid, but I drink it. I swear, but I don't really want my 6-year-old going around saying you know, it just sounds weird.
But our older kids swear and we don't mind. We have a whole vlog just on swearing that somewhere, maybe the link will be below. We care far more about how the words are used than what specific words are used. Bridget UZB asks, do you plan on carrying a gun on the AT? No, I'm not planning on that because I've never hiked with a gun and it seems like it'd be like a weight issue, but maybe I don't know that much about the AT.
Varus0426 asks, what church do you attend? We don't.
Rax Roast Beef asks, why do you use so much cream in your coffee but always drink amazing coffee? Doesn't it defeat the purpose of good coffee? I've always had cream in my coffee and I started drinking coffee later in life. I think at like 25 years old because she got me addicted. But I used to have sugar and cream, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good by not having sugar in there. And I can still taste it. I'm not like a purist
I can
in that
taste
way.
a difference between crappy coffee with cream in it and good coffee with cream in it.
And I really like your username. Rax was like a restaurant I used to go to when I was a little kid. Sherry Vote asks, would you ever like to see your wife, husband dress up a bit more on the daily? What about this right here? I don't really care much. I think lately I've started to care more than ever, but I care with you far more about your confidence and you feeling good about what you're wearing and womanly and feminine and beautiful, with a few exceptions. I do like sexy underwear, or no underwear, that's fine. So I care about that.
I feel pretty good about what Ben wears. I like tighter jeans on him. And I like that he, you know that.
Well, I didn't know you like that every day.
Well, if I could have it every day.
Well, we can.
And
Let's make that happen.
I mean, check out this hair. I think it looks really good. He like put this like pomade stuff in it, and it
Because it's date night.
looks pretty good.
So you wish I wore tighter jeans all the time?
Maybe like once or twice a week. I don't feel like I need it every day.
I'm not talking about needing it. I'm just saying like, would you prefer it?
Yeah, maybe I would.
It's time to go shopping.
E. McIntyre Brandt asks, it looks like you live in a lower income neighborhood. Was this an intentional choice? And has it been positive for your family? Do you try to engage with your neighborhood and community? It wasn't an intentional choice to move into a lower income neighborhood. It happened to be where we already had properties.
Well, we weren't like, let's find a low income place so we can save their asses. But I think the fact that it is low income made it a lot more appealing to us. And now that we've been here for a while, we actually love, not just the fact that it's low income, but it's the type of neighborhood that affords low income people to be able to live there. It's very mixed. And there's a lot of like proximity and kind of realism that we weren't able to experience when we lived in the suburbs that was like kind of removed and it was professionals predominantly. So I love this neighborhood, and it wasn't an accident that we chose to buy a lot of property here, actually.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we invested in it. It's like within walking distance, the way it's zoned, how close it is to the city.
And we have tried to engage some in the neighborhood, not as much as of late, but we've like thrown parties before, invited neighbors and stuff.
I think we're a lot less into that. When we first got here, we really felt sorry for everyone because we were like from Seattle and we recycled and we were Christians. So we're like, oh, we need to save everyone and teach them how to recycle. Now I think we feel a lot less pressure, and actually we're a lot less naive about what it takes to actually transform an entire culture that's decades or centuries old. Adam, Enjoy+7 asks, what are your views on Halloween? Like, we're certainly not like for it. And there's been, I feel like every other year we kind of change our practical stance on that. Like certain years I'm like this.
When the kids were little, I don't feel like we had a lot of opinions about it, and we just like let them trick or treat and stuff. And then for the last 5 years, I think we felt more like, okay, we're not gonna participate because we don't like it. I don't know, I just don't feel like super serious about it. I'm like, they can get candy and we can still not like it. Red Rock 187 asks, if you could ask your subscribers a personal question, what would you like to know about them? It would be interesting to know what people's spiritual beliefs are.
Yeah, how you label yourself, because I'm always really fascinated that certain like conservative Christians watch us, and sometimes they love and hate us, but then sometimes, like recently we got a comment from a Muslim that said they've been watching us for a year, and I was like, oh, that's cool. We have only experienced like our narrow way of seeing the world. Sarah B asks, it seems like some of the kids don't like being on camera or are uncomfortable with the vlog. If one of them came to you and said they wanted you to stop vlogging, how would you handle that? At what point do you think having all of your children's full consent to put all aspects of their lives on the internet is important and necessary? You know, what we've encountered so far is kids saying that they don't want to talk about a certain issue on the vlog that's like really sensitive or it's happening in real time. We've never had a kid come to us and say, hey, we don't like that you're doing a vlog about the family and I'm in the family, or I
don't show me ever.
Yeah, or I don't feel safe in the house. That would be a really tough thing. It is like really important that we, our house is like safe, you know, to our children. That's like our primary purpose. But at the same time, just because a kid has a bad day and they're like, I don't like this vlog, it's also kind of like, hey, this is bigger than you. And I'm fine with not putting you in it, but we're not gonna necessarily change all of our, what we feel like our purpose is right now just for your preference. We have to decide, we would use that as a piece of information and say like, oh, okay, man, is this doing ongoing damage to the relationship or the child based upon their feedback? But a lot of what you hear me referencing more has to do with the kids just not wanting to talk to the camera because they're not feeling like, it kind of, you have to put on a bit of an act and like, you know, you're not talking to a real person here. You're just like engaging in this thing. And it's kind of introspective, and sometimes it makes you relive moments you're not ready to relive.
And we see this as a family business per se. It's like our family project, maybe is a better word for it. With any other family project, we would expect kids to participate.
Thank you guys for all those questions. That was super interesting and fun for me. And I hope you guys ask questions like that in the future because it helps give us something to talk about.
And if you feel comfortable, leave a comment with your spiritual beliefs.
Final thing, I have been thinking about starting a Facebook group that's private. It's like invite only for further discussion about Fight for Together topics. And I don't really want to be a part of it, but I want to facilitate a place where you guys can discuss ideas and network and get to know each other a little bit and maybe ask questions about topics that we kickstart. Would you be interested in that? And specifically, would you be interested in helping moderate that? I'm probably gonna look for 1 or 2 or 3 moderators of people that are trusted commenters here, maybe some of the people that ask questions even today. I feel like we're kind of busy to commit too much to this. One of the things people said in the questionnaire was that they really benefit from the community that happens here. But YouTube comments are so terrible. Like to follow a threaded conversation. Yeah, it's just impossible.
Yeah.
And I hate it. So it's better than nothing, but for further discussion, is that something you'd be interested in? And would you be interested in helping out with moderating it? You can leave a comment or you can email us. Our email address is in the description. It's time for our date night. See you guys tomorrow.